Hello, everyone. We're back with a Winter Edition 2026 of What's the Hype?
Frigid Edition.
Frigid, yeah. Recording this on, what is it, Tuesday, January 27th?
I believe so, yes.
All day. We got two of the special guests here, Adam and Jim. Happy New Year, gentlemen. 2026 is here, ready to go.
Getting ready.
So we're going to keep this one kind of brief, but cover some important things. Talk about trees, talk about simulators, and I'm going to talk about everybody's favorite word at a country club, an assessment, which we rolled out here a couple weeks ago. So, Adam, why don't I turn it over to you? What's going on down at the golf shop right now?
Not a whole lot. We're just kind of sitting in there.
Okay.
No, just kidding. We're getting ready for 2026. Simulators are being very well used. I think I looked at it the other day. I think we did over 200 people so far, and that's pretty much only in 30 days. So,
Wow.
way to come out here and say hi, and then go hit some balls for a while. Sarah just got back from the PGA show, one of the more heavily attended PGA shows. So she had a lot of neat stuff she saw down there, a lot of technology-driven stuff. So we're kind of going through all the pictures that she brought back. We didn't go due to, we're going to talk about the golf shop redesign here, but you're going to see us buy a little bit less this year, so there was nothing really for us to buy down there. So we decided to stay home and freeze instead of enjoy some nice weather. We are planning for 2026. We're going to toss out a couple new events during the year. Probably the one that we're kind of more excited about will be we're going to toss in 2 9-hole mixers, ABCD draws, just kind of like our holiday events. We think this is a great way for new members, old members, any member to come out and you kind of meet some new members to start their year out. Kind of expand your playing circle a little bit, so to say.
Make some friends.
Followed by a little bit of dinner after those events. So that'll be new for 2026. We're going to do a family twilight, and we're going to keep rolling with all the other fun events. You'll see some different changes to the schedule a little bit, so that will be released here shortly once we kind of get everything finalized here in the next week or so. So looking forward to it.
Cool. Yeah, those sound like fun events, new events. What are you doing with the cart billing for the cart plans?
Oh, yes. Cart plan billing is a little different this year. We have an event sign up on 4Ts that you can sign up for it, or you could call the golf shop and we can sign you up. Two options as usual. There's the single plan that's $11.50, and then the family plan that's $17. The family plan is good for anybody immediate family independence, and remember the kids must be 16 in order to operate the carts, even if the parent is on there with them.
Don't break the rules.
Carts are expensive, so don't do that. So the break-even point, I believe, on the single cart is going to be about 50 some odd rounds. Break-even point in the family is about 71 18-hole rounds. Cart fees for the year, if you don't do the plan, will be $23 for 18 and half that for 9. So a little bit of an increase there. Guest fees, I think, remain the same, so no changes to the guest fees. And we're going to send all this information out, as well as kind of the code of conduct that's Hyperion has for the range and for the golf course and for the pro shop. So you'll see all that coming to you in various emails before the season starts.
So on those cart plans, we're one of the few clubs that you're aware of, I'm aware of, that still has cart plans. Is that right?
Yes. Places like Glen Oaks, like we'll have here shortly with more houses, they have residential carts, but still a trail fee. But I can't think of anybody in the area outside of us that offers a plan. It's a great deal to those who play, 80, 90 rounds. They're making their money back.
Yeah.
So.
What'd you say? It was like 25% of the membership made up almost 40% of the rounds last year, something like that.
I forget the numbers.
But people on the cart plan.
People use it, so it's a great deal. So if you plan on playing some golf, make sure you get on that cart plan. I think we had, last I looked, about 80 some odd memberships already down for this year. I think last year we had out of the 430 memberships, I think we had 190 or so on a plan. So
About half.
Get them while they're hot.
A lot of golf. So I know, one comment we have heard over the last couple of years, we've been aggressive with the cart plan increases each year. But that's, kind of by design. Our costs go up with staffing, leasing, But then again, would you say 50 rounds is break even for a single?
Yep, and that's we're looking at a usage rate on our increases. It's not a percentage rate. It's we're trying to find the number where everybody tends to be at.
Yep.
We're trying to make it fair. So,
and again, we're one of the few clubs.
Few.
Other clubs you just pay as you go.
Yep. Don't get an option. It's you can walk, I guess, but
probably a lot more walkers.
I'm not walking. So you
Okay.
didn't see me out there Wednesday
walking. We won't
walking.
beat the dead horse
when
on the cart
courses
plans,
were.
but that's what's going on with billing this year, March and April. Jim, let's talk to you real quick. If anybody's driven down Northwest 70th here in the last, 4 to 6 weeks, you might notice a little bit of a change.
Yeah, we got busy.
There's less trees. So where did they all go and why?
Yeah, so this all came about really early 2025. Worked with the committee and did kind of an inventory of the ash trees. Started hearing from state arborists, local arborists about the borer, and basically the feedback I got was, man, you got 150 ash trees. I certainly wouldn't be so reliant on those ash. Even though we are treating for the emerald ash borer, it's still just not a really great long-term viable strategy. So anyhow, we took inventory and found out that especially on holes 4, 5, 6, there's just a ton of ash trees. And that presented us with a pretty big problem. Kind of making the quick explanation as we worked with the committee and looked at our existing master plan and holes 4 and 5. We already had a plan in place to shift the fairway. And we got a lot of trees in that area that were both ash and struggling maple trees. So I kind of proposed to the committee that we just go ahead with the plan that was already in place and let's just execute this thing. And I provided the visual to the committee out on the course, showed it to them, and the feedback was extremely positive. And then we did kind of like a PowerPoint presentation with the board of directors, kind of gave them some of my handiwork. It's not nearly as good as the graphic artists that help us with our videos, but it was sufficient. They were really excited about the plans. So yeah, sometimes you kind of have to rip off the Band-Aid in order to do some of this sort of stuff. So there are a number of trees coming down, most notably number 4, a little bit on number 5. But ultimately, you're going to have more space inbounds to the right of number 4. There'll be room in there now where we can plant trees on the inside of the fence. And hopefully it de-incentivizes or takes away the incentive for some of your longer hitters just to hit it over to number 5 because they don't want to go out of bounds.
I don't know anybody that would do that.
Right. I would try to hit it to 5, and I'd still hit it up over at Casey's. So that's my game. But anyhow, so that's the largest part. When you come out this spring, you're going to notice that, and it's going to take us time because I don't want to totally fence everyone in. I want you to be able to still play golf. So we'll work down the left side where we're expanding the fairways first, and then we'll just kind of play it how it is for the season, and then we'll kind of narrow up the other side in the fall. That way we don't have fences running up and down several golf holes on both sides. It'll be one side or the other, and we'll provide access for people to cut through and that sort of thing. So that's the plan. Rest assured, we're planting trees. We planted some last fall. We've got plans to plant some this spring. And we've taken out trees throughout other holes
every winter.
Yeah, we do that every year. We've kind of with the inventory of the ash trees. We took kind of a break after the derecho. So we lost so many trees kind of all at once. We had a number of trees we were watching, on a 0 to 5 year, 5 to 10 year, and so we've gotten a little bit more aggressive. You start showing the committee members, Evan, the professional staff, some of these trees that we've been watching, and quite frankly, they're a little bit scary.
Some of those
and especially
are dangerous. Most of them are.
Right, and especially when we're talking about high traffic areas next to tee boxes, next to greens, where people spend a lot of time. It's we've been watching these long enough. It's time to take them down. So you'll see a lot of that.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. We'll have to get those pictures you took out to the membership at some point this year. When we did take all those trees out a few weeks ago, you were up there like looking down in the tree when they're cutting it down, and it's kind of freaked me out.
Yeah.
We still had those trees out there standing up until they were cut down, and you had that one big limb come down on that tree just left of 4 green.
Yeah, next to 4 green.
July, one of those really windy days. And those are the things that happen, unfortunately, that are very scary. that we want to alleviate. So that's why Jim and then Extreme Tree, who's got an arborist, they go around every year and identify these trees. And
yeah, we take a couple rides every year, and
Yep.
I think it's risk mitigation is the kind of the term he uses, and is a health assessment is kind of what we're doing. And so
yeah, crazy. A lot of trees, about 50
Yep.
trees all in all. Throughout
yeah,
the
they're a
property.
resource to be managed like any other resource. I took a look at my records today. I've planted nearly 150 trees in the 9 years that I've been here. We've probably lost or taken down a few more than that. But I feel like we're being a little bit more strategic when we plant them, rather than like after the big tornado when there's probably overplanted. So yeah, we're not quite 1 for 1, but we're close.
Yeah.
As far as putting trees back
Good.
in.
And it all follows the master plan.
Yep.
Which is important to point out. Had a few staff changes down in your shop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exciting.
Career development for Logan, and then a new full-time hire, if you want to touch on that briefly.
Yeah, Logan Capacious accepted the role of, I believe it's North Course Superintendent over at Des Moines Golf, so we're really excited for him. Ultimately, that's a success story for Hyperion, for the operation that we're running, and obviously for Logan himself. He's a top-notch individual. But we got a lot of other staff that we're really excited for. Spencer Fuller, Jacob Carr, some young men that shown a lot of promise, a lot of interest in making a career out of the golf course maintenance field. And luckily, through GCSAA, our professional association, we're able to provide a lot of training, in lieu of like a traditional, college degree or whatever. There's a lot of on-the-job training and various webinars, videos, classes that they can take. So excited to kind of promote from within and train from within. At the end of the day, part of what makes Hyperion great is just the people, and my job's so much easier. I know Adams is the same, and Evan. When you can bring good people around you, train them up and kind of turn them loose and let them do their thing. I mean, that's what it's all about. So
Yep.
excited.
That's good. Yeah, I'm excited for Jacob and Spencer, and obviously Chuck's been around here a few years.
Yeah,
Nick's been around here not as long, but
Chuck's got a lot to teach as well. He's a good mentor for the guys.
yeah, he's good. So anyway, we're going to transition to some construction we have going around the club, some construction that's been completed recently, and then some more construction that's planned throughout the year, as well as the 2026 assessment, which was rolled out a couple weeks ago. So construction that's been completed. The playground has a new surface. If you haven't seen my Behind the Blueprint video, I'd encourage you to go to YouTube. I kind of outline all these projects a little more in deep detail that I'm going to go through now. Kind of gives you some insight on how things are funded versus operational and investment capital. So playground's done, new drainage, new retaining wall, new synthetic turf. I really think that's going to be a big hit
Yeah, I'm
for
excited.
many years to come. But from a maintenance standpoint, saves Jim and his staff a lot of time from putting down mulch and pulling back mulch when it rains. But
Weeds and
it's just, yeah, so it really looks nice. Group fitness and the office project. So group fitness will wrap up with completion this Friday, January 30th. And then beginning next week, February 2nd, we'll have Mickey in that new room. So we're excited for that room. If you haven't been down there, it's really taking shape. I was down there yesterday morning, putting the flooring in, lighting's going in today, so it really looks nice. So once they complete that, they're going to move over to the offices in the existing group room, get that going. So that will be completed end of February, early March, right before the season. So we'll be able to move the staff over right before we get busy. And then tennis courts, that is also scheduled for the end of March. We're doing a full overlay of the tennis courts, fill the cracks, even out the surface, put new lines on it, pickleball and obviously tennis. So looking forward to getting that done. And then another big project that was board approved that's going to happen this December is we're going to redo Adam's golf shop. That's kind of one of the last areas that wasn't really touched when we did the renovation of the rest of the clubhouse, basically. So Adam, why don't you kind of touch briefly on who we're working with, interesting company, and then kind of the overall concept idea that you and your staff have developed for the board to review later this year.
Yeah, so we're starting down the road to that redesign with a company called Two Hemispheres. They're a golf retail design business based out of Oregon. Molly and Mitzi and their team will be actually joining us this month, February, to physically view the space and gather some ideas, and then we're going to start really going down that road of what do we want it to look like, what do we want to do. I mean, I hate to say it, the slat wall will be gone. You're going to see a more modern look, which is definitely needed, as Evan mentioned. It's when was
It's bad in there.
Was it 98? 90?
I think 97, 98, they redid that.
So, we're gonna be able to display the product better. We'll be able to move stuff around easier. Everything, all the tables will match, the hangers will match. It'll be a very, very updated space, and it'll be very. I know Charnay is very excited to see some of that slat wall disappear. That's cracking and it's just can't take the weight. Merchandiser of the year a couple years ago. So we're going to give her some updated spacing. We're going to update the office a little bit. We're
going to add office too, right?
We're going to add.
Yep. Give you guys a little more space.
Expand the office space. There we go. So we'll have more room for us to operate out of, and
good.
We're going to have some bumps in the road this year. Like I said, we're going to buy a little bit less, so that way at the end of the year we can kind of trim the product down a little bit. So I'm going to phrase it this way: if you see something in that shop, I'd buy it right away, because I'm not going to guarantee it's going to be there at the end of the year. So you'll see some interesting things coming next year.
Cool.
This year. Sorry.
Next season. This season.
There you go. My year starts April or March 15th, whenever we open.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Yep.
Like Adam said, very excited to get this going here. So we're going to do our golf shop holiday sale that first Saturday in December, and then shortly after that, it'll be go time for construction.
Yep.
So the golf shop will probably be shut down for the most part, for the better part of December, and I would guess probably January. But more so on timeline in that, once we solidify the general contractor. Obviously, we got to pick the plan first, but really will be nice to revamp that space and modernize it and make it consistent with the rest of the clubhouse. So be good.
Yeah, it won't be a walk in from the hallway and it's completely different.
Step back in time.
Yep, it'll be nice.
So the last thing we're going to touch on here quickly is the 2026 assessment. This was board approved. The board approved this last fall. We put this in the committee recap that was sent out in November, as well as it was touched on the annual meeting, and then most recently it went out in a single email blast. I think it was 2 weeks ago or so. But basically what we were looking at with this assessment is planning for the future while investing in current amenities. So for those of you that don't know, we have two big projects out there that we have to do regardless whether we want to do them or not. Many people would not want to do them, but we got to do them. So that's the irrigation system, which is up to be completed in 2032. And then the sewer. So our sewer line here at Hyperion has been on Camp Dodge's system since 1917, believe it or not. And there's new federal regulation out there that says basically a private entity cannot be on a federally funded program. So they've given us through the end of 2032 to get off that. So big projects, all in all, probably anywhere from $4.5 to $5 million between those two projects to get those completed. The irrigation, obviously, you have to have water to water the golf course to keep it in great shape like Jim does. Jim, what is the expected life on an irrigation system, and why is it good, when that time period is up, to actively replace instead of trying to prolong a system for many years to come?
Yeah, so in our region, expected useful life of a system is 30 years. The various components may be less than that, pump station, that sort of stuff. Controllers will last the length. Computers are continually updated. But kind of the analogy I made when I'm thinking about this is like the furnace of your house. If your house is getting old and your furnace is 20 years old, 25 years old, do you want to wait for that thing to clunk out in the middle of January, February when it's 20 below and risk pipes freezing? Maybe, depending on your age or your family members, that could be a serious health risk, right? So generally, if you're a person that maintains a property actively, you sort of think and plan ahead for those sorts of things. And early in my career here at Hyperion, I kept hearing this: well, the bunkers are done and the greens are done and the irrigation system's done, and so that stuff lasts forever. Well, nothing lasts forever. It's just like your house. You're going to repaint it, put new carpet in periodically, right? So it has a useful life, and I kind of cautioned the board that eventually we'll need to do an irrigation system, and I applaud those board members and committee chairs that kind of heard that and just kind of banged the drum a little bit. And now we're to a place where the current state of the golf economy is also playing into this, that the better contractors are going to bid 3 years out. They've got 3 or 4 years of work already planned out. And so if you want to do this thing right and get the best bang for your buck, have the most reputable contractors all bidding so you're getting the best price, you just need to be prepared. And so I just applaud the the leadership at the board level, as well as Evan and the executive staff, for just kind of taking this thing and rather than just kind of forgetting about it until we have to do something, let's take a proactive approach. And what would you do if this was your house? Well, I would probably save some money and maybe look to borrow some money, whatever. But I just applaud Hyperion and leadership for taking a proactive approach and thinking about, how can we get this done, and kind of planning for the future.
Plan for the future, which is what we're doing, and investing in current amenities.
Yep.
So a couple things there. The projects to include the tennis courts and the playground. Some of that money to pay for those projects is coming out of this assessment, as well as a portion of the money that'll go towards Adams Golf Shop redesign here later this year. So all in all, it's golf members are going to pay $1,500. Social members are going to pay about $1,000. That's going to be split between your February bill and then your November bill. So we're going to bring in, with current membership levels, just about $700,000. $200 of that is being spent on the projects I just outlined, and then $500 will go into our reserve, which we established 2 years ago. So with the reserve, it's important to point that out too, and being proactive and planning for the future. There's about $500,000 already in there of unspent operational capital dollars that we've decided not to spend over the last 2.5 years to establish that reserve. So, we're going to have close to $1 million, which is being invested. So, you've got return on your money. And then, we plan to save money every year out of the operational capital fund, if it allows, which it has the last 2.5 years, where we're not spending all of it, and a portion of that, anywhere from $150,000 to $250,000, is going into that reserve every year. So you couple that with, more frequent, smaller assessments, we should have that whole project paid for, by the time 2032 rolls around. We may even look with the sewer, depending on the direction the board wants to go, to accomplish that sooner rather than later. I could see that happening, not this year, but potentially next year. But a lot going on.
Yeah, leadership at Camp Dodge would be happy.
They'd be
if we
thrilled.
got that done.
Yeah, they want us off now, but they were very fortunate.
That was a real win for us. We didn't know what would happen. We still don't know exactly what the sewer project will look like, and the thought was, well, if we got to tear up the golf course to put up an irrigation system, let's
do it at the same time.
Grant us that time to get that done, perhaps if we're already out there with trenchers and backhoes and stuff. So that was a big win for us, a big win for Evan. General Dardis.
Yeah, General Dardis was very instrumental in that. Probably wouldn't have happened without him and his relationship down there. But, definitely a lot going on, from trees to playgrounds to golf shops to tennis courts. We're hoping for some warmer weather here soon.
We're always working it. We're always working it and getting ready for the season. We're about 90% of the way there. So
maybe 6 weeks away. I don't know.
Yeah, we could use another couple weeks of winter. Maybe we can make sure the golf carts are going to run, that sort of stuff. Be good.
They ran a lot last year, that's for sure.
They did.
So, anyway, well, thanks to you guys for your time.
One quick thing.
Adam's got another point.
I do want to big congratulations to Ross DeBurr, elected to the Iowa Golf Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Very well deserved recognition for Ross. Many don't know, but he's the idea man behind Drive, Chip, and Putt. He joins John Osmond in there, so. The standards are pretty high, so I don't know.
Quite the legacy here at Hyperion to try to live up to, Adam. I don't know how we're doing. Let's not put it out to a vote.
No, but congratulations, Ross.
Yes,
very, very well deserved.
Yeah, very well deserved.
Very big honor there. So, sorry.
Yeah, he'll get, what is that, October, I think it is?
Yeah.
I believe it's October, yeah.
Middle of October.
There'll be some Hyperion representation there, which there should be. So, other than that, we'll be back probably when the golf course opens. More updates. I'm going to do another behind the blueprint here later this week. That'll probably be out end of next week, just outlining the progress of the projects and touching on that investment capital and operational capital, which is so important to understand. So make sure, if you haven't seen the one that's already out there, go to YouTube and be on the lookout for another one. Stay warm.
Very good.